I'm more bullish than the daily. Now let's go to the 5 minute time frame. So this is just before the US Open. And oh my word, doesn't this paint a pretty picture of strength? As we're coming down, buying, buying, buying. Then from here, what do we print, everyone? We print a change of behavior. And what would you label this as? A T cob or a B cob? Yep, it's a T cob. Well done, everybody. What do we know about T cobs? They have a deeper reaction than B cobs. They have a deep reaction. But what comes in here? Some kind of stopping action. So we get all this volume trying to come down and we hold here. We can't even test down here. This occurs after a cob. This is very interesting, isn't it? We have a change of behavior. We know it's not a breakout cob. So then we know we're going to have a deep reaction. We do have a deep reaction. We can draw two levels of trend channels, the angles of descent, ends climactic. Good volumes coming in. Very good volume coming in. Can't even test the lows. It is some form of climactic / stopping action, which is bullish, isn't it? We know that the greatest form of stopping action from workshop 2 is the stopping action with the spring. So here on the 5 minute time frame, would you say that feels more bullish here than it does on the 60 minute and the daily? And don't forget, all of this is under yesterday's low. Now you really have to start piecing together all the pieces of multiple time frame analysis, because now we're under that daily bar and we can clearly see that we find buying. If we break above here, what if we build under here? Causality for a potential move to the upside. You can feel all the elements coming along here. So from the daily, the read wasn't particularly clean. However, we observed elements of bullishness from structure. 60-minute time frame, we can clearly see that down here, there's an attempt to hold. You know, we don't free flow like we did from the highs. From here, look. We kind of free fall down here. We try to break on down. We can't. We go to the lower time frame, and then we get the change of behavior, the climactic stopping action, active buying on the way down. And we cannot become oversold. Definitely more bullish behavior. Right, so let's go into the US Open. And we'll keep an eye. If people could remind me, I'll do my best. Every hour, we'll unfold a 60-minute bar because it is important. And I did trade in multiple time frames today for you guys because I said I would. Suffice to say, we're just before the US Open. Let's just see what the market does. We have structure to work with. But if we break above yesterday's low, that means we're kind of springing, aren't we? That's bullish. I know it's complex to think in multiple time frames like this, okay? Especially if you're not consistent and profitable yet. But there certainly is an edge. US Open doesn't achieve anything. Bit of buying, bit of selling. Wow, okay, some selling. Well, where do you think we're going to go here to test? What's the first level, everyone? Look at the chart down here, right? This is the low of change of behavior low. We know this from workshop. We calm down. But you get price rejection of this low. And we see a lot of volume coming in. There is a lot of buying coming in, 100%. And we also have shortening of the thrust in the closes. Could we buy that bar? No, I can't buy that bar. Too aggressive. But we do note that there's buying here, agreed? And by the way, just for context, today's tricky due to the volatility. That is a 14, 15-point bar. That bar tells us what, everyone? That there is supply. We're glad we didn't buy. Look at the volume come out and the deep testing. We break on down. Now, is this a valid break? Good. This is not a valid break. So we pay attention. And then that engulfs practically. And now we're springing the change of behavior low. And just think about this. That's the volume on this support level. Look at the volume over here. On these, this bar, and this bar. And we cannot break this. And we're springing. What do you think? Yeah, we buy. By the way, we're springing the change of behavior low. Who remembers this in workshop two? Phenomenal. When we have a T-cob that tests the change of behavior low, that usually goes on to the end of the day, doesn't it? Remember that fascinating piece of data we extracted? But here, look at this. Look at the stop. 11 down to here. It's an 18-point bar. We are springing. We know volatility's in the market. Look at the picture. Beautiful. Come down, change behavior, get buying, and we spring. We have to take the trade, but we have to reduce contracts. You have to minimize risk here. What do you make of this bar? Two things we have to talk about here. One, look at the volume. Is this a good test? Decent test. Oh, we got a test expert in there. Yes. So it's a decent test. It pops its head above, which we don't like, but volume reduces lovely. And the retracement is fantastic. And it also holds this level. So what do you think we could potentially do here? Yeah, it stops on support, structural integrity. Now, I can't add there, but could we potentially buy stop the highs? Because don't forget, I'm in here, or we're in here as well, but minimally, can we start building a position here? Buy stop, and what do you think we can do there? This is the beauty of campaigning like this. We don't get spooked out. We can build a position, and now I'm over 1%. Yeah, we can all add on there. Agreed? So this is lovely springing action, isn't it? Beautiful. Now we go to the 60-minute time frame because it's 3 o'clock. And this is very important. Aha. What are we doing here, guys, on the 60-minute time frame? Yeah, we're springing. Springing this low here. Look at this. Beautiful. This is yesterday's low. And what have we found on the 60-minute time frame under here? Buying. This is good. And now we can go to the 60-minute time frame. What do you see here on the 60-minute time frame? I mean, wow. Look at the spring. Break through here. We break through here. We cluster, we're going all the way through. Look, we come through this level. That's good continuation. We absorb our way through all of this. Phenomenal. From a 60-minute time frame, do you see any weakness here? Look at the minimal retracement. No. So what does that tell us from the 60-minute time frame? We've just interpreted that it's strong. How do we get the value from it? What's it tell us to do? It says we're going up, so we want to hold on. Good. Well done, everybody. Phenomenal day to pick multiple time frames, is it not? More selling, but it's an up bar. Now we're up thrusting yesterday's high, and we're here. Would you say that that's the weakest price action we have seen for the whole day at a resistance level? If this breaks, what are we going to be printing? A cob. And a cob we should get going